Hey, what's up? It's your girl Nique, and you're tuned in to Nique at Night. Okay, and so tonight I'm going to briefly discuss Daunte Wright and the situation that happened in Minnesota yet again. But before I get into that, I want you guys to know that if this is your first time here, my name is Nique, and we are the Night Owls. And over here, we talk about a various of topics. And I also have my own website where I sell pajamas such as the set that I'm wearing now. And, you can get you some toys, you can get you some lingerie, you can get you some variety of things. So definitely check out my website, www.niqueatnight.com, and it's spelled exactly like my channel. So, as you guys know, the situation that happened with George Floyd went down in Minnesota, and Derek Chauvin is currently on trial for this situation as we speak. Okay? So, in the same state where there is literally a big trial going on, there is a lot of public scrutiny on how the police officers are not trained well and how things are seeming very racially motivated and just off. Then you have the recent incident with Daunte Wright, where he was a young man who was basically driving his mother's car. So he was driving his mama's car, and in his mom's car, the mom's car had an air freshener hanging from the mirror. So when they pulled him over not because they knew he had warrants, not because they knew his criminal history, not because any of that. They pulled him over because he was not driving a car in his name. He was driving his mother's car. They pulled him over because he had air fresheners hanging in the front of his mirror.
Getting pulled over by the police. And I said, well, why did you get pulled over? He said they pulled him over because he had air fresheners hanging from the rearview mirror.
Weeks ago.
All he did was he had air fresheners in the car, and they told him to get out of the car. He got out of the car, and his girlfriend said they shot him. He got back in the car, and he drove away and crashed. And now he's dead on the ground since 1:47. Nobody will tell us anything. Nobody will talk to us.
Y'all gotta talk to her now.
The BCA just says that they are investigating it. I asked them to please take my son off the ground. He's been there since 1:47 this afternoon.
They left my son on the ground.
Which some of you guys are just now finding out that in some states that is illegal. In California, it's illegal. In Arizona, it's illegal. In Minnesota, it's illegal. And it's illegal in other places of the world. It's oftentimes used as just a reason to mess with somebody and pull them over for you to have a reason to, stop them. So he gets pulled over because he has, an air freshener in the window. They do not know his prior history, and they basically want to, harass him for that reason. Once they get to the window and they find out that he is not the mom whose car he's driving, they run his name. They tell him to step out of the car. Once they tell him to step out of the car, they then go into arresting him. At that moment, he's startled, and he's like, hold up, wait, I'm not trying to go to jail. Nope, who's trying to go to jail? He goes back after they grab his arm, put his arm behind his back. He goes and sits back in his car. From him going to sit back in his car and technically resisting arrest, an officer then comes and she yells, taser, 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 we're about to tase you, shoots him and kills him.
Outrage and frustration in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, with crowds gathering in protests of the death of Daunte Wright, an officer shooting the 20-year-old during a traffic stop Sunday. Police say they were attempting to arrest the man after determining he had outstanding warrants, and he got back into his car.
One officer had fired a weapon, striking the driver. The vehicle continued and eventually crashed, medical resources were then deployed to the scene to aid the people in both the vehicle that was crashed into and the original group. The driver of the vehicle was deceased.
Authorities say Wright died at the scene of the crash, his mother arriving there after the incident, saying he called her when he was pulled over shortly before 2 p.m.
Said he was getting pulled over by the police.
Now, A lot of people feel as though it's justified to kill somebody if they resist. Oh, you should just comply. Oh, you should just listen to what they say. Oh, you should just, go with the flow because they said it or whatever. And you should never, do anything. And if you resist in the slightest, then you deserve to die. I think that that's false. I think that police officers are trained to deal with difficult individuals. They're trained to deal with in hostile situations. And I feel like they should be trained to deal with a person who gets startled that you pull them over for air freshener and then approach me highly hostile. Like, people have to understand that it's not what you say, it's how you say. And a lot of these officers get the response that they get because they try to, disrespect you, and they try to bring you down like you a kid. Like, they talk to you like you're a child and like you're less than human. If you talk to people with respect, if you approach people with respect, I think a lot of these officers in these resistance situations would have different outcomes. Now, I'm not going to say that if you talk to everybody with respect, everybody will adhere to what you're saying. I'm just saying that if the officers stop trying to talk to people like kids and demean people and talk to them like they're less than, and meet them with extreme aggression, drawing their guns out immediately, not telling people why you have them arrested and what you're doing, I think that in those cases they will get a different outcome. A lot of these cases, the officer immediately draws the weapon, immediately gets highly aggressive, highly hostile. And a lot of these times the people are confused about what's going on, and the officer neglects to even tell them in the slightest of what's going on. They just want them to adhere to the commands. Do what I say, do what I say, do what I say. And it's like, wait, why am I doing what you say? Like, what did I do? Like, and they won't even explain to the person like what they did in a lot of these cases. So the whole idea that like you just need to respond and you just need to listen to them, I just can't always get behind that. Like, as much as y'all feel like a person needs to just respond, it's also an officer's duty to talk to you with respect, and it's also their duty to tell you what is going on step by step, so that they're not just startling you and just walking up on you and saying, hey, well, now put your hands behind your back out of nowhere. Like, at least, talk to me, let me know what's going on, explain, you know what I'm saying? Just don't come with this high hostile environment and then boom, shoot me, and then think it's all good and it's justified. That's not justified to me. I feel like in that moment, like, yeah, like you have a right. Like, everybody's not gonna, like, some people might be startled, like, whoa, hold up, like, I gotta go to jail now? Like, oh, no, like, what is y'all talking about? Like, back up, like, you doing too much, like, you trying to put me in jail. Like, that is not a reason or authority to murder somebody and kill them. That's just not it. Now, you can find the videos online. I'm not going to show the video here, but you can find the video circulated online, and you can see exactly how it went down. If you go to my Instagram page, I share it on my Instagram page, and you can see exactly how it went down. They go to grab his arm. He goes to sit down in his car. Once he sits down in his car, the officer yells, taser, taser, taser. The gun is clearly in front of her, invisible view, to where she can not only feel the weight that it's much heavier than a taser, not only did she draw it from her dominant side, which is where the gun is placed, not only did she pull it from her dominant side, have it in her peripheral, see that it's not yellow, she then yelled taser, taser, taser while looking in front of her. Now, in order to shoot or anything, you have to look at your gun to aim it. She's looking at her gun, not seeing yellow, and shoots this man. And people on the internet are saying that that's justified. If you look at the footage, you can clearly see where she's holding her gun out. You can clearly see one of her partners to the right of her. You can clearly see his taser on his belt that's bright yellow. So you mean to tell me a person visibly sees a gun, does not see any yellow? This person is a training officer who not only was on the force for 25 years, but also was on the force to train people, visibly sees a gun in front of her. Her partner is to the right of her, who has his bright yellow taser in view. And y'all saying that was oh, it was just a mistake. I don't agree. I don't agree, and I don't feel like, I know that, you know, I'm not going to say like, you know, because I've been in situations to where, you know, it may have been a situation where I felt like, you know, maybe I'll act this way, maybe I'll act that way or whatever. But these are situations that I'm not like trained in. These officers, especially training officers, go through drills, go through trainings, go through all kind of things more than an average person who can get up suddenly into a certain scenario. Like for that type of officer who's not a rookie, who's actually a training officer, to make that big of a mistake, I don't know. Like I don't think that that's justified. And I don't think that just because you are trying to, you know, like get back in your car, I don't think that that is a right to kill somebody.
Dominant? Not so dominant. Huge weight difference, guys. I don't understand how we can mistake a taser for a gun or a gun for a taser. If you're in the heat of the moment and you do something like that, you shouldn't be doing this job. Because nobody likes a bad cop more than a good cop. I can tell you that straight up. I'm not going to put my life on the line to try and, you know, fix your stupidity and deal with, you know, restoring the peace with my public that I serve just because of your stupid actions. It makes no sense. 99% of our job is communication. You don't got to be quick to pull out a gun or a taser on somebody and think everybody's a threat. Not everybody's a threat. Try talking to them. Get to know them people.
And he's saying exactly what I was saying in the beginning. A lot of these situations are from officers coming in hot. I'm coming in hot. They be coming in hot, highly aggressive, and trying to intimidate you and demean you like you a little kid, and then want you to just listen, obey, obey, obey. Oh, boy, you better obey, boy. Like, no, I'm not going to obey. Like, no. All right, so after all of this went down, you know, everybody was in an uproar because not only did this happen again, but this happened again in Minnesota. Now, this woman who shot and killed Daunte Wright, she was then released out on bail, and the officers of the town, they used our tax dollars, or the Minnesota people's tax dollars, to build a barricade around her house like Fortnite to protect the woman who killed an innocent, or I won't say innocent man, but he was innocent of not having a weapon or provoking his own death. Him sitting in a car did not provoke his death in any way, in my opinion. So, you know, not only was she released out on $100,000 bond, but sis got a whole Fortnite barricade around her house with round-the-clock officers basically you know, securing her home and protecting her. But she's the one who's supposed to be protecting and serving, not killing and murdering. But that's what happens in this day and time. So as you see here, this is the latest. It says Kim Potter was charged with second-degree manslaughter over the death of Daunte Wright. Potter shot Wright during a traffic stop on Sunday, and she resigned as a police officer and was arrested. Potter was released on a $100,000 bail, and it says images show her home surrounded by new barriers and fences. So I'm going to show you guys the barriers and fences, and as you can see, they have barricaded her home like Fortnite, okay, Fort Knox, or whatever term you want to use. And so it says basically under Minnesota law, second-degree manslaughter is defined as culpable negligence involving an unreasonable risk in which a person consciously takes chances of causing death or great bodily harm to another. If Potter is found guilty of the crime, it carries a prison sentence up to 10 years and a possible $20,000 fine. Now, this woman who is responsible for killing Daunte Wright, she is being protected with Minnesota civilians' tax dollars, and, you know, their money is being used to protect her, who she's supposed to be protecting them. Instead, she's murdering them, but y'all got to pay to protect her and pay the officers who have to patrol and secure her home, and y'all got to pay for the materials that they have built around her home like Fortnite to barricade this woman and make sure that not a hair of that blonde bleached blonde hair gets touched. I mean, hey, this is America. America. Meanwhile, over on the Savoy show, you can see how Daunte Wright had a memorial in Los Angeles where people were being caught destroying his memorial. Here is that.
Yo, get the down, bitch.
We could have done worse. You look, I'm just blowing out the candles.
Oh, you were lucky?
Social dystopia.
You have no respect for anybody.
Oh, really? Did Daunte have some respect for the cop?
I don't care. I don't care to be doxxed. I just lit a candle for somebody who passed away and was murdered.
Really? Where are you from?
None of your business.
Did you grow up around here?
None of your business.
Yeah,
Making stories up. I don't know who you are. You don't know who I am.
Yes, I actually have a video of you. Oh, it's you.
Pick it all up, destroy.
Right here where the corner was.
Excuse me. What are you doing? I know exactly who you are.
Okay, so as you can see, this Asian thug who they say, oh my God, stop the hate, but you got these thugs like this person who's caught destroying his memorial. And you had, even on my Instagram, if you guys are following me on Instagram, there was Asian journalists who were trying to defame Daunte Wright's character, showing all kind of crap that had no correlation or relation to the arrest. And it was like, you know, march for you. Okay. Anyway, so it says Kennedy Lindsay stormed the Capitol on January 6th and was filmed inside. She has yet to face any consequences and is rumored to be acting as an FBI informant. And this was the one who she was telling to get down off the top. And then the guy who was blowing out the candles, they said that he is a guy by the name of Lucas Reese, and he is of Alhambra, and he was the one who was seen also destroying Daunte Wright's memorial. And it says, Lucas has a history of violence towards women. His ex filed for a restraining order against him. Okay, and this is the thread from Chad Loader. And it says, tonight, Daunte Wright's memorial in Los Angeles was destroyed by right ring Lucas Reese, Angie Chang, Kennedy Lindsay, and Tracy, last name unknown. They knocked over the candles and ripped down the photographs of Daunte Wright. So as you can see here, you know, Angie Chang, I don't know if that's Asian or not, but, you know, these are the same people hollering, protect us, you know, protect us. Oh, my God, stop the hate against us. Yet they are spewing the utter hate, and they are the most ones at the front line. And they, you know, unlike white people, like, I don't think that all white people are racist, but unlike a lot of white people who even are, they know how to hide it. These people, sometimes they will blatantly like tell you to your face and then play victim when you react. It's crazy. But we are in America, like I said. But you have situations where the shooting is unjustified and we get angry and we get riled up about it. And then you have situations where it's understandable shooting and it's justified. And we as Black people can hold that person accountable. And the next thing that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to explain why. Now, I shared a video on my Instagram, I want to say maybe about a month ago. And so you have situations where a person, I feel like, is held accountable for their death. And you have situations where, with the Daunte Wright situation, where I do not think in any way, shape, or form that is justified. So in a video that I shared about a month ago, it was a Black woman who got stopped by the cops. So she got stopped by the cops. She then kept going back and forth in her car. The cop kept telling her, ma'am, you know, there's a warrant out for this vehicle. You know, here, stay right here. The guy, he's like, you know, searching, you know, I guess somehow he had probable cause to search. He searched her bag. He finds a powdery substance. He finds marijuana on her. And he finds, you know, all these things on her. She's going back and forth in his car after the cop is patiently telling her, like, ma'am, stay here. Like, stop going in your car. Just stand here. He's not rough with her. He's not aggressive with her. He's not, you know, he's simply following protocol by protocol. Then, you know, he tells her, like, ma'am, you know, you have a controlled substance. Whoop, 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 whoop. You know, I'm going to have to take you in. Whoop, 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 whoop. At this point, you're clearly, you know, she's clearly caught with drugs. She's clearly caught with, you know, paraphernalia. And at this point, like, he's not been totally aggressive with her. Like, I feel like it's a different situation. Like, the situation with the army guy who got pulled over, when immediately they're drawing the guns on him, and it's a high stress situation from the moment, and you get, you know, very like anxiety, like from the moment that it happens, and it's like they're very aggressive with you and they're treating you some type of way. I feel like it's different when there's an officer that's treating you courteous with respect. You know, he's just following his job. He's not doing too much. He's not, you know what I'm saying? So the video that I shared of this woman, the officer then tells her, like, listen, you know, at this point, like, you know, I'm going to have to take you down to the station. The woman runs around her vehicle, goes in her car, picks up her gun, shoots the officer, and then when she shoots the officer shot her back. In cases like that, I feel like, well, ma'am, you are accountable for your death. You shot him. He shot you back. That goes further than you just resisting. That goes further than, you know what I'm saying, you just trying to flee the scene. Like, you got in your car, you grab your pistol, you actually did have a weapon, you shoot him, you throw the weapon out your car, he shoots you back, and then you pass away. That's different. This situation with Daunte Wright, of him simply sitting in his car, he did not have a weapon, he did not have a gun on him, he did not even drive off at that point. He only drove off after he was shot, which he probably was dead immediately, and his foot could have just hit the accelerator and went. At that point is when he drove off. I feel like that's totally different scenario, and I do not think that that is justifiable. It was a high hostile environment from the get-go. They housed him from the get-go and manhandled him with a lot of people and immediately shot and killed him. Like, that, it's totally different, and I don't feel like it's justified. So for people trying to justify it just because you resist arrest, I don't think that that's justifiable. Like, I just don't. I think that situations are a case-by-case scenario. And in this scenario where he did not have a weapon, where this officer is a training officer and not just a police officer. And on top of that, the weights of the taser versus the weight of a gun. The gun is on your dominant side. The taser is on your less dominant side. The taser is bright yellow. Your gun is black. Like, it's too much of like.
But that's the end of that video. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. She has been bonded out and on $100,000 bond immediately. Her house is barricaded. She has on the patrol, officers on patrol 24/7 protecting her. Like, what do you think her fate will be in this outcome? What do you think the fate of Derek Chauvin will be? And what do you think about the new information of Kyle Rittenhouse? So Kyle Rittenhouse was the teen who went down and he shot up all these people, and he had a bond, and, you know, he was able to get out of jail after killing all of these people or whatever. He premeditated, went there with a pistol, with the intentions and everything to kill, and then got there and killed, then got out, and then got bailed out, was able to get a bond, you know, and you have certain people who can't even get a bond at all. But Kyle Rittenhouse, he was able to get a bond. Susan was able to get a bond. And it turned out that in the Kyle Rittenhouse, or I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, Rittenhouse, whatever the heck his name is, it was revealed that there was several judges and police officers who contributed to his bailout. So with that type of information where judges and other police officers are going to contribute and help bail out these people who are highly against black people, what do you think the fate is going to be? So what do you think the fate is going to be of Susan? What do you think the fate is going to be of Derek Chauvin? But yet these same people want us to march for other races when, child, y'all let me know down below. But don't forget to visit my website, www.niqueatnite.com. You can get some sexy pajamas like the one I was wearing in this episode. You can also get you some naughty toys for the bedroom, some lingerie. It's about to be time to travel, okay? So I even got stuff for men where you and your man could match, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can match with matching pajamas and whatnot. And, you know, take them cute vacation photos. So check out my website, www.niqueatnite.com, and tell me your thoughts down below. And I'll see you guys on the next video.